Jacoby.
He is Jalen Anthony Rose.
What up, though?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
And back.
Going back to back.
Katie Nolan is back with us, everybody.
What's happening?
I still don't know what to do during that intro, but I
We
think
don't
I did
either.
okay. I just did this.
Yeah. Jalen, what do we do?
Give the people what they want.
If the people wanted a thrilling Game 2 of the World Series, they got it in overtime victory for the Astros. I loved every second of it. Brought me back to baseball. But you know what I loved the most from the game? It was not from the game at all. It was from the pregame. Magic Johnson joined the set of the pregame show, and it was fantastic. Let's watch.
This is between you and me. Nobody's watching. Nobody needs to know. What are you going to take to bring LeBron to the Lakers? I'll pay the fine. I'll pay the fine.
Why is everybody laughing so hard?
I think because they're on TV and they're uncomfortable.
Is that what
I think
happens?
I think the rule is if you're on TV and you just like, everyone's like, wow, yeah, they're really good friends. They all get along so well. This is good TV.
Can I stop now?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
good. Okay, good.
I think that's how you bail yourself out. You just laugh really hard.
Well, they did a lot of that, but also they continued to laugh even more. It wasn't over yet. Let's watch.
Oh no.
We're trying to build a championship team with the Lakers, and hopefully next summer we'll be in line to sign free agents.
Wait.
It's not a joke.
Wait.
It's like, hopefully we'll be in line to sign free agents. Like,
We're gonna-
how do you like your coffee?
Got him. Like it with a little bit of cream.
And then I would have been the person at the desk like, nobody signed with the Lakers yet.
Yeah, they actually don't look that good.
And by the way, if you guys don't get LeBron, which I don't think's going to happen at this point,
Ooh, talk to me, Jalen Rose.
you hope to get Paul George.
Might not happen either.
You hope to get DeMarcus Cousins. Other all-star level performers, for the most part, have long-term contracts with their current teams.
Chris Paul, maybe, comes to mind.
And
Isaiah
so-
Thomas.
Again, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But how about this? Magic Johnson, 5 rings as a player, 5 as an owner, and a WNBA championship recently.
And then he goes to the World Series game, and that one went into extras, but then afterwards just like gets into a helicopter or hovercraft or whatever Magic Johnson travels in, and then just goes to the Staples Center to watch the Lakers win in overtime.
And let me double down on what you said. And then joined our set at halftime.
Ooh.
Did you guys fake laugh a lot?
That was the pregame. That was the pregame of the baseball. He did halftime of the Lakers game on the floor with us, suited and booted. So he was getting it in yesterday. Unfortunately, his squad lost in baseball, won in basketball.
Okay,
Not
but
bad.
boxers or briefs?
Tiny Whities! I love doing television. So we told you yesterday that we wanted to be like, like your big brothers. And you can come to us for some advice.
Yeah.
And you have a question for
I
Jalen.
do.
You need some advice.
I do need some advice. So I'm not friends with that many athletes. I don't know many of them. I imagine the both of you are.
Sounds like you're about to drop a name.
I don't want it to be that. But Brandon McCarthy, the pitcher for the Dodgers,
Sorry.
I don't know him very well, but he guest hosted a show that I was on called Crowd Goes Wild. Shout out Regis Philbin.
Shout out to Reach.
So I love him. He's a super nice guy. He's really fun. And I saw him come in last night into the game, and I was like, Brandon's pitching. And it went really badly for him. And I want to know, how do you talk about that on TV? Like, how am I supposed to be nice to my friend, guy I really, really like?
It went
but
really badly.
It's like I can't avoid the fact that he gave up the 2-run home run. It's on him. So how do you talk about that without being a jerk?
One of the best questions a friend or a colleague has ever asked me on wax.
That just hurts my feelings, but continue.
Continue.
That really hurt my feelings, but just move on.
So a couple of things. Bad television is this. You can tell when somebody is going to give the person a break that they have their phone number, or that they went to college with, or that they played with or played for, is one of their sources, is one of their peeps. They're going to always give them the benefit of the doubt. To me, that's bad TV. So much so that they started to talk about the guy that had given up the 2-run homer or had 7 turnovers. Hey, but he's a really great guy. He's a future Hall of Famer. We didn't ask you his resume.
Right.
We asked you, how did he play last night? So here's what you do. And I did this because I was doing media as a player, and then I transitioned clearly to do it full time. You say exactly what you see. That's how you get respect.
Okay.
hurt
So
your
you
friend's feelings.
don't add any flair to it.
Because I don't respect you if you like, well, Brandon's my guy. We went out for drinks, and he did give up a 2-run home. I respect you more, and Brandon will respect you more. Be like, Brandon, what you doing? Like, seriously? The Dodgers needed you to come up big, and you got rocked. And then he'd be like, okay, cool. That did happen.
But that does not apply to us. You can never say anything negative about Jalen.
Oh, no,
or I.
yeah, no. I couldn't think of a thing to say negative about you guys.
Boom, there you go.
I
there
couldn't
you go.
think of a single thing.
I can never think of something negative to say about Marshawn Lynch, and he just keeps adding to reasons why. He's suspended for being awesome, by the way, for Week 8. So while he's got some time off, guess what he did? Played football at his alma mater high school. Let's take a look at some of that. So here he is in his Raiders gear.
Amazing.
Just playing football with his high school players. So, Katie, my question for you, if you're one of those players and Marshawn Lynch shows up with full pads, are you excited or terrified?
I think terrified.
I think terrified,
I don't
too.
I think at first you're like, oh, awesome. Then you see him put the helmet on and you're like, oh,
Wait.
no. Oh, no.
Wait.
He's about to play a game and it's us. He's going to play it against.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you're. But maybe it's, I don't know, I'm not an athlete. I never played the game. That's what they tell me on
Yes,
Twitter all the
you're not
time.
allowed to
So maybe
speak
it's,
about it,
maybe
yeah.
it's an honor to get rocked by Marshawn Lynch. I don't know.
It's an honor.
Okay.
That was the best thing that could have happened to every one of those athletes. Because you think you're physical, you think you're strong, you think you're playing hard, you think you're going to the NFL. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to have to tackle that guy that's actually in the NFL. And all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, I'm going to line up and I'm going to stick this dude. And then he stiff arm you to the ground. Boom. And now the coach sits back like, yeah, see, I told you wasn't ready. And that becomes the testimony of a player to continue to work to get better because you have a long way to go if you're going to make it to that next stop.
We have a long way to go if we're going to make it to this next segment. When we come back, Katie Nolan is going to join us to play Keep It Moving. Mr. Met was walking off through a tunnel. He felt like he was off wax, and a fan gave him a little bit of lip, and he turned around, held down 3 of his 4 fingers. In Mr. Met's defense, I ask you a simple question. If you have 4 fingers, can you give a fan the middle finger?
I don't think so.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Mr. Met, get at us. We are the law firm of Rose and Jacoby. We'll represent you for free in whatever proceedings needed. And also, it just goes to show, Mr. Met, you are never off wax. Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby. Jalen Rose, David Jacoby, joined again by Katie Nolan. She came back after that segment. I'm surprised.
Have you
But she's still
ever
here.
watched the television show Martin?
Yes, but not enough to get whatever you're about to say.
Okay, so there's a character on Martin called Bruh Man.
Yep.
And he just showed up whenever he felt like it.
Yeah.
And before you know, we have you on the program, and all of a sudden you back-to-back days.
Yeah.
You're our Bruh Man.
That's an honor.
Yes.
I'm gonna just pop up when you guys least
Correct.
expect it.
No
and I
question.
expect to be allowed to sit in
Yes.
this seat.
Yeah.
The only other person that has done that is E40. So you walk.
Good company to be in.
Yes, exactly. I always associate you two.
Yeah.
So we're going to Keep It Moving. Not
Okay.
everything is worth discussing.
Very true.
In the world of sports news especially. So we filter it all out with this. If you want to discuss it, you say hit the brakes. I hit the brakes. If you want to keep it moving, Method Man tells us to keep it moving. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
The Yankees announced that Joe Girardi will not return as the manager. Keep it moving or hit the brakes?
Hit the brakes.
Oh, okay. Girardi was the Bombers skipper for 10 years. Took him to a championship. They went to Game 7 of the American League Championship Series, and now he was fired.
I just think it's weird and dumb. But we don't have
Yes.
to talk about it for too much longer than
Good
that.
point. We can
Just
keep it
weird
moving.
and dumb.
Weird and dumb is a good take. I will say this, though, is Jalen and I always say, happiness is a function of what?
Expectations.
And I felt like they exceeded their expectations as a team, and he still got fired.
Right.
As the Midwesterner here, you guys from the East Coast and young ladies, you're so brash and you want it right now.
Yeah.
And there are 3 teams that made the playoffs that all fired their coaches in Major League Baseball.
That's a good point.
They're all from the East Coast.
Okay.
And also, No one is talking about this. Don't be surprised. It's a layup. I'm going to put it right out here. I might have to go carry my bat for this one. He has to end up with the Marlins and Jeter.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like what you did there.
Ooh.
Next, Josh Smith has signed with the Pelicans. Katie, keep it moving or hit the brakes.
We be moving, you know
They're trying to get somebody fired, boy. It's going to be some attitudes. Him, Rondo, and Boogie.
LeVar Ball continues to talk.
Keep it moving. I just, yeah.
Odell Beckham Jr. is reportedly dating
Hit
a
the brakes.
songstress.
Hit the brakes. Who?
Odell, this is according to Us Weekly.
Okay.
Serious journalism. They're kind of like on their stuff.
Yeah.
And Odell Beckham and Iggy Azalea
No.
were rumored to have some bowling date a few months ago. And now there are multiple sources telling Us Weekly that they are a thing.
Oh,
How do
you made
feel
that sound
about
like you were going to say something else, and you just said the thing you already said.
Well, listen.
No, it was good.
You know.
I didn't know she was still around.
Like alive?
I mean, I thought maybe she went back
As an
home.
artist.
I don't
To
know.
Australia?
I don't know.
I like this. I like this.
We are kicking people out of the country right now. I don't know if you've noticed. It's not like a
Good
weird
point.
thing to haven't seen her or heard
Yeah,
from
they're
her.
like, well, we gave you a work visa, and
Sure,
I haven't seen any
right.
of your work.
Yeah, exactly.
And I haven't heard any of your music.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So-
And
so
you
who
you
knows?
called her a songstress. I don't know how I feel about that.
I just wanted to keep the mystery going as who it could be.
Right.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
you said
yeah.
a rapper,
I
no,
didn't
still
wanna
wouldn't have
call her
thought
that
it was
either.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
didn't wanna call her that either.
No, that's interesting. I always wonder how these people meet each other. When did their... Do you think it's as dry as, like, I text my agent and I'm like, yo, I want to date her? Like,
it's DM.
You,
I really
yeah?
think that's what it is.
You think so?
Well, I've been with the same person for 15 years, so I have no idea
that's
how
bad.
people meet in the
Yeah.
real world.
You guys just said both. Either DM and or through agents.
But if someone's
Have you
agent...
ever done that in your whole
Publicist.
entire life? Say, please reach out to this person?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Are you
Not gonna do it.
lying?
No.
Are you,
To me-
are
to
you
me-
lying?
Lying
Ask
a
again.
little
Let's
bit.
ask again.
No,
Yeah.
but hey, I'm gonna tell you, because to me that's corny. Because
It is corny.
Very.
Because if I got a call from an agent that's like such and such wants to, I'd be like, ew,
my
this
client
right.
blankety
It's like in
blank.
middle
Oh,
school when
no.
someone's like, do
Yeah.
you want to date John?
Yeah.
He really likes you. It's like, send John's ass over here then. I don't want to deal with
Yeah,
you.
what's with you, Kevin? I want to talk to John. If he's into it. All right, let's keep moving.
I wonder what Nick Young thinks about that.
I don't think Nick Young really thinks. You know what I mean? I think that's one of his strengths, though. I think that's one of his
I
strengths.
agree.
He just
I
like
agree.
shoots baskets.
I agree.
Reggie Miller took a trip down the hypothetical highway. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
I don't know what that means. So keep it moving.
That's the
There you go.
NYU and David
That's how
Jacoby
we
coming
game.
out.
That's how we game.
Shout, Rich.
There's one more thing that LeBron wants to accomplish in his career, according to LeBron.
Okay, hit the brakes. Only one?
It's ridiculous.
Hairline.
LeBron said this, quote, I want to
Wear a
shoot...
do-rag during the NBA game.
I want to shoot 80% from the free throw line, man. That's my only goal. That's my last goal of my NBA career. That's my last one. I've done everything else.
No, he hasn't done everything else. There is one position that he's never gotten like a 20-point, 10-assist game. It's center. He has not had a really good game at center. So that should be your first goal. And then you can just don't say it's the only thing he hasn't done.
You know what I love about LeBron? He continues to humble brag
I know.
about himself
know.
all of the time.
This has been him
And it's
basically
true.
saying, I have done everything there is to do. I am the greatest of all time, better than Michael Jordan, but I need to shoot 80%. from
And
the
can
free
I
throw
tell
line.
you how this really comes off as a player that was in the league when Michael Jordan was actually dominating the league? It sounds
Seems
like
we should listen for your perspective.
Keep it moving.
this sounds like somebody that's playing in the era of the Golden State Warriors.
Ooh.
So he like, don't put me championship or bust, because they're still out there.
Yes. Yeah, realistic expectations, like we said
Oh,
before.
yeah,
He's setting the
yeah.
expectations to be like, I do not want to win another championship. I do not want to win another championship. I do not want to win another championship.
What percentage is he currently shooting?
Not close to 80.
First of all, we don't like follow-up questions like
Okay,
that on
sorry,
this
I'm sorry,
program
I'm
because
sorry.
that requires
Keep it
research
moving.
and
I
actual
know, you're right,
knowledge.
you're right.
Yeah,
I just don't have
exactly.
any sense of what percentage of shots he's hitting.
100.
Okay, great. So he
100%.
just wants to be worse.
The Patriots' Deontay Hightower is out for the season. Keep
Oh,
it
I
moving or
don't
hit the
want to
brakes.
talk about it, so keep it moving. That's such a bummer.
Darrell Wallace Jr. is doing something in NASCAR that has not happened in 46 years.
Well, hit the brakes.
A black driver.
I was going to say he's black,
Boom!
so that's it.
There
Wait, literally,
you go.
is it?
Wallace was named the 2018 full-time driver for Richard Petty Motorsports, and he will become the first African-American driver with a full-time ride in NASCAR Cup Series since Wendell Scott in 1971.
It's a shame he's going to get pulled over right away. Hit the
You know,
bricks.
And
here's
I
the
hope
thing.
the body cameras are working.
I know jokes are funny when they make me angry. You know what I mean? Like, that one makes me
sorry.
angry and jealous. I'm just like, oh, that was good, Katie. But she's not coming back next segment. I'm telling the producer right now, like, we can't have her back. She's too funny.
No, I've met him. He's really cool. He's really nice. He's like young, which is a thing that a lot of NASCAR doesn't really have a lot of. He's great. I think it's going to be great for this.
The man
sport.
better watch out. The man better watch out. Like when Tiger started to go.
Exactly.
Watch out.
Drake doesn't want to win any Grammys this year. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes. There's too many good jokes.
Drake didn't submit More Life or any of the songs for any of the categories. I think this is just a clerical error, like his assistant made a mistake.
Yeah.
But he's saying it's like a playlist and it's not an album. That sort of thing.
So an album is a playlist.
Good
It's a
point. That's
numbered
good
list
point.
of songs you push play on. So that's
Okay.
a dumb thing to say, first of all. Second of all, what?
He did. I think. Here's what happened. He wrote a really mean email to his assistant or his team. Just be like, y'all missed the deadline, didn't you? And they're like, no, that was a strategy because we didn't think
Yeah,
it was an
PR
album.
was like,
Yeah.
how do we spin it? How do we spin it?
Exactly. When we come back, Massachusetts has some really interesting ideas about how to make the day longer. It sounds weird. We'll explain after. Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby. We are still joined by our new colleague
Bruh, man.
and friend and bruh man, Katie Nolan.
She won't leave.
I gotta
Still
ask a
here.
question. Do you follow her on Twitter?
Probably.
No, you don't.
You did this
Whatever.
morning, so you don't get to take a high ground here.
Back on you!
I
Back
know.
on you!
did
Well,
this
here's the thing: is you
morning.
waited until we were rolling, you waited until we were on television, and then you try to call me out, and Katie called you out. You are the best, Katie
Stop
Nolan.
yelling.
I'm gonna
She
stop
is the
talking.
best. But here's the thing. The reason why I bring this up is because we were doing this program for years, and guess what? He wasn't following me.
Oh, you know what? Here's the thing that you guys should know about me by now. I don't care about other people.
Yes, you do.
I care
fight.
about
Yes,
myself,
you do.
and I care about people
Please
that
stop
have my
fighting.
last
Mom,
name.
Yes, you
Dad,
do.
please.
Darrell Revis, can we get back on track here?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Katie, I will never follow you. Luxury car brand Aston Martin has begun selling a special Tom Brady edition
I need one of those.
of their car. There it is right there. It's
Oh,
fancy.
yeah.
It's got the logos all over it. It's going to cost you $360,000.
Yeah,
Katie, I know you like Tom Brady.
I do.
Are you saving up for a down payment on that?
I was gonna say that's either my mortgage or that car. So yes, I'm gonna buy the car.
You can live in the car.
Get the mortgage exists so you don't have to pay it all at once.
Yes,
so
exactly.
yeah, I'm going to get
Yeah.
that car.
And
They're
you
only
can-
making 12 of them though.
You can sleep in the car.
I know that is very true.
You know?
They're only making 12. So it's like you not only do you have to have that money, you have to know enough people to be like, how do I get on that list? Who do
Do
I
you
have
think
to
they
know?
sold any?
I think that they're gonna go like that, don't you? No? I thought maybe I'm just
No, I always just imagine like Dubai comes to mind. It's like, oh, someone in Dubai will buy one.
that is true. How much is a regular Aston Martin? I'm
Again,
nouveau riche.
You know,
I don't know any
you
of
know
these
I
things.
don't like follow-up questions.
You probably know. What do you
Maybe
drive?
200.
No, look at Jalen's car. Jalen once drove this thing. It is
What is
the
that? Looks like a toy
international
truck.
CXT truck.
Wait, you're joking,
You
right?
owned one of those in real life, Jalen Rose.
I did, as a member of the Toronto Raptors. My good friend who also works in the media, James Brown, has one also. But here's the thing.
It's ugly.
I had a townhouse, a 4-level one, right off the water. It was fly.
Oh, okay.
Lakeshore.
Great.
We get it.
I never thought about the fact that where I'm going to park this thing.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening is I had a friend, Morris Peterson, who actually was working with a car dealership. I had to park my car there, which means in the middle of winter, when I wake up in the morning, my vehicle is not where I need it.
You drove that every day. That was your everyday car.
I drove it for a year or so.
How do you
Crazy.
How do you
It was cold. It was
parallel
black.
park?
It was awesome, but it was too big.
It's ugly.
Katie,
Fly.
What?
you're from Massachusetts
Yes.
originally. I am also originally from Massachusetts.
Cool. Congratulations.
And we've got a Massachusetts topic
Okay.
for us.
Great. Ooh, I think I know this one.
Yeah. A Massachusetts State Commission is studying whether they should leave the Eastern time zone
Yeah.
to go to the Atlantic time zone because during the winter, sunset is at like 4:15 some days. And they're like, you know what? Let's leave this time zone and get more sunlight throughout the year. I do not understand why anyone would not support this.
Right. And here's the thing. There's apparently some weird law that you can't opt into daylight savings time year-round, which is what they originally wanted to do. You can opt out of it, which is what Arizona did.
So it's like a gang.
Yeah, so it's like you can't do it all the time. You can decide to never do it, I guess.
Do you have to get beat up by all your friends?
I think
or
so.
something like that
I think
to get
you've
out of
got to
it?
do something weird. But so they wanted to do that, and then they found out they couldn't. But then they were like, oh, we can switch into the Atlantic time zone. That's what it is, right? Atlantic?
Yeah.
I'm for it, but I also... Time is confusing to me.
It's very confusing.
I don't know that I get what I'm gaining from that.
Either. Here's what I think it is. I think it's like some dudes in Boston were like, ooh, if we switch time zones, bars are open later.
Or Massachusetts could just come out of like prohibition and stop closing bars at 2.
That's a good point.
They should just keep them open all
Massachusetts
night.
could just secede.
Oh, Massachusetts closes that too?
Yeah.
That reminds me of Detroit.
Early.
And last call is at like 1:45.
Yeah.
And we talk about these things, Jalen, but like, let's be honest with each other, we're both in bed by like 9:45.
Well, because there are only a couple of things that are open past 2. Hospitals, jails, and legs.
7-Eleven. Wow! It's not where I thought we were going with that. I wasn't ready. I said 7-Eleven. I'm over here like actually helping you.
want some milk? It's actually open past 11. Isn't that crazy? They used to name it 7 to 11, and now they didn't.
I had to redeem myself
That
for
was-
your good joke earlier
Of course.
about the NASCAR driver.
Katie, I want to thank you for joining us the last
Thank
couple
you.
Thank you
days.
for having
are
me.
welcome
You
to
guys are the
come as
best.
often as you
Anytime,
would like.
that's mutual.
Thank you.